Alright, I just got a really good scare. I was moving rocks over there, and I lifted this big old long rock, and there was a juvenile rattlesnake underneath. Good morning, guys. Welcome back to another video. We are back in the California motherlode. Today it is a solo trip, so I came out to a spot that I've had on my mind for a while, and now that the water's down about 1500 CFS, I was really hoping there was a place to sluice here because I have a spot over here that's super rich, and I'll explain why it's so rich. And I've noticed this pattern in a lot of rivers, especially canyon rivers with lots of bedrock. This will kind of help you guys when you're looking for a spot similar to this. So I'll explain real quick. So as you can see, there is a rock wall in a really deep area, and why that is because when the river's going super fast, it pushes all that material that's down there up to the side, and if you test any of that material, it's gonna have gold. There's a similar situation over here. Right here, there's a nice deep spot right here, and you got all this rocks pushed up, and someone has actually dug here recently and they were getting some really good gold, but they did not try over to the left. And a couple videos ago I actually tested over there and I got some really good gold. So we're gonna go ahead and get a pan, go do a test pan, show you guys, and hopefully be able to set up the sluice. So the only spot I can really see that's safe is right here. There's some movement of water. If I could get some rocks right there, set up, bring a bunch of rocks, get something flat for my sluice to set up, we'd be looking at a really good amount of gold today. If not, we're gonna be sticking to panning all day, which is gonna be fun for my back and be real tired, so it won't be as productive. But let's go ahead and go get a test pan, show you guys what I'm talking about, and let's see if we could even get this sluice set up. So here's a good example of aerial footage. As you can see, the main water flow hits that bedrock shelf and goes off to the right, and it pushed up a lot of boulders with a lot of flood gold around it. And that's my last couple videos I filmed there, and there was so much flood gold. There's probably ounces of flood gold here. And for my members, I will be giving away this spot because it's super easy to walk to, and it's about a 10-minute walk from where you park. And if you guys are interested, the video will be coming out pretty soon for members. All right, so here's all the flood rock. What I'll do is once we get some once we get the sluice set up, I'm gonna come over here and start moving the rocks and stuff out of the way. Where is my green scoop? That one over. Oh, it's down there. Just started and already losing stuff. So right up here, if you start moving these rocks out of the way, this material has some really nice gold in it. And I've got some big pieces to a good amount per pan. So here's a spot I did a test last time and I got a really good amount of gold. So let's see. See if I can move this tree branch out of the way. All right. So this is real sandy stuff, but because there's lots of big rocks, you'll see there's really good amount of gold in this stuff, even though it doesn't look like it would have anything in it. I'm actually pretty impressed with what I found in this flow material. And I've been wanting to come back and work this stuff if I could ever get a sluice set up. And I think I'm finally gonna be able to today, possibly. We'll see. Liking it. Oh yeah, we're already seeing gold. We're down to the black sands. Let's have a look. Check this out. Look at all that black sand. There's some gold in the corner. Whew, there we go. Look at that at the top. So it's not amazing, but if I can move buckets with that kind of results, we'd definitely be looking at some really good gold. So let's go see if we can set up the sluice, and then we'll be back to start moving buckets, hopefully. So as I started building a spot for my sluice, I realized there was two problems. One, there was a drop off right where I was trying to set up my sluice. So if my sluice were to fall, or a big boil of water was to come up and push my sluice, it would go down river and down a foot where it dropped off like 20 feet right there. And the second is it wasn't consistent water flow. It was flow from boiling of the water. So I still wanted to try, so I went ahead and set everything up, and just to see if I can move a bucket of material. Honestly, I am impressed I got this thing even set up. There's literally a cliff right here, so if my sluice does fall or my mat slides out, it's going down river. So it's flowing enough to possibly work. So let's go grab a bucket of material, run it, and see if we got any good gold. Or see if it's flowing at least. But I know there's good gold there. It's just we're gonna have to carry it from over there all the way to here over rocks and stuff. Hopefully my sluice stays there. I put 2 rocks on it. Once I get material in it, the mat shouldn't be a problem. Let's go grab our bucket, grab our classifier or shovel, and let's get some material. Woohoo! All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is start taking these rocks and chucking them in the river, so I could get down to the material. The best gold is right here and right under these rocks, because the water pushed all these rocks up, and basically all the flood gold and material got stuck behind and under these big old rocks. So definitely good gold. We just got to get to it. So let's start by doing a time lapse. We're going to just start removing as much rocks as we can, unjamming stuff, loosening the material, and I will be running it dry just because how far I have to walk it, especially over rocks and stuff. I'm not risking, it's just gonna be too heavy weight. I would have to walk half bucket, so dry is a little bit easier, and I know I'm gonna be tripping a lot today, so gotta be extra careful. But let's go ahead and start moving rocks. All right, first bucket done. Let's go ahead and go sluice it, see if I can make it over there without falling. Oh, this thing's heavy. All right, moment of truth. Let's see if this thing will sluice right. I'm not expecting too much, but we will see. Yeah, it is not moving fast enough. I'll make some adjustments. Alright, so I got tired of messing with it. I only got about half a bucket done. We're just gonna do a quick clean out, see what we got for half a bucket. I know there's some good gold in there already, but we're gonna just keep panning. So I really wanted to run the sluice today, but we're probably not gonna get as much gold or move as much material as I thought. So let's go ahead and do this clean out for the half bucket and then pan the rest of the half bucket. And let's see what we got for half a bucket. Just kind of gauge this. Oh yeah. That's actually not bad at all for half a bucket. Definitely a lot more gold to be found. So, all right, so I'm gonna quickly pan out the rest of that bucket, and then I'll record anything that's good, but we'll try to pan it real fast. So let's do it. All right, we got that bucket all panned out. There wasn't anything too big, but there was a lot of quantity. Like I was getting about 15 to 30 pieces of smaller gold per pan, so it might add up if I do it all day. But while the water's low and I hiked all the way out here, I want to go do some tests that I was kind of wanting to while I was here anyways. But if I was able to sluice, it was gonna be sluicing all day just to get some gold. But let's go do some tests real quick before we continue panning. Give our back a little bit of a break, and then we'll do another bucket and then maybe do some more tests. So all right, so I started digging right here, and this is way above the water, so I didn't expect much. I didn't even record me digging there. And check out this test pan. Woo. Look at that picker. Woohoo. Heck yeah, all chunkers. Let's do another test pan there. Beautiful. All right, let's get us another handful. See what we get. So this is more sandy stuff. I probably should get the higher material. That's probably where the gold's in, is that cobble and whatnot, but we'll see. Might have something in this pan. Wow. It's not huge gold, but it's chunky. I don't even know if the camera will pick it up, but it always looks smaller on the cam. Oh, look at that little chunker. It's like a little nugget right there. That's a little... Look at that thing. Piece of crystalline gold. Let's go get more test pan from there. Woohoo! Might just go grab the bucket and classify all that and bring it down here. Let's do that. All right, we got the bucket full. We're gonna go ahead and bring this down to where I can pan it and see what we get. So let's go do that. Trying to get some bigger pieces. I don't know if the camera will pick it up. There's a couple of nice flakes in there. Alright, I think we did pretty good at that spot. There's definitely a little bit more material, but I'm gonna try a few other spots and maybe clean that spot out, and then we'll kind of have a reveal for the gold I have so far. I'm not sure how much longer I'm gonna be filming today, but yeah, so let's go ahead and go grab our shovel and see if we can do some other tests. Alright, so I've been doing all kinds of tests. I took a test over there, here, everywhere, and the goal was to try to figure out where the most concentrated bit of gold is, and kind of trying to figure out, because when Corey was here, he was digging right there and he got so much gold. And I did do a test down here and up here, nothing. And then I just did one up against this bedrock where it hits and it just slides down, and I just got the best pan of the day. So we're gonna do another one. We're just gonna grab more material right up against this bedrock and see what else we get. So let's get some of these out of here, and then we'll grab another test pan. And my goodness, that was an incredible pan. I got 2 pickers in it with a bunch of other gold, but I just did not expect it. It kind of makes sense. Obviously it would come up and go over these rocks and then just kind of concentrate up against the bedrock. I don't know why I didn't try that. I did one over there against that bedrock and I got really big flake. Got some other material that's really good. I've got chunky stuff right here and a lot of smaller stuff up there. So it's like, if you spent a day moving all this, there's probably a couple $100s worth of gold, if not an ounce or two, if not a couple thousand, I would say. It's just about moving, and there's really no place to sluice except for over on the other side, which kind of sucks because you can't really get over there. So I might be making a video where I come with a inflatable raft and then I get in with all my gear and go over there and sluice on the other side and see how it is. With how rich it is here, I could only imagine what that material over there is like. So, but yeah, let's do another test pan and see how it looks. Kind of overfilled the pan, but we'll see. Let's see if we get lucky again or if that was just a fluke. Definitely gold, but not big pickers like that last one. You see quite a few pieces of gold in there. Huh? It's just how this spot is. You'll do a pan and just incredible, and then when I go to record, nothing, or like a bunch of smaller stuff. That's still a really good pan. There's lots of small pieces. We're definitely gonna have a good clean out at the end of the day for just panning. I'm very impressed with this spot. All right, so I just did another scoop right where I just recorded, and I stopped recording just to do one more, and I'm like, I won't record this one. And so right there where my shovel's at, and I just saw something amazing. Let's see if it was just the only one. Whoa, look at that picker. Whew. Now that's a picker. That's beautiful. Now we're starting to get somewhere. I'm gonna keep digging there and see what else we get. All right, I just got a really good scare. I was moving rocks over there, and I lifted this big old long rock, and there was a juvenile rattlesnake underneath, and scared the crap out of me. Honestly, I didn't even hear the rattle because it was so silent, you know, with the river next to me. It was like, didn't really sound like anything. And then I just saw him, and he almost tried to strike me. So you guys need to be careful while prospecting. He did move to another spot, so I kind of pushed the rock out of the way, and then he slithered up into another spot under some other rocks, and I'll try to stay away from that area. So yeah, he gave me a good scare, and just be very careful, especially I'm solo out here and I'm a couple miles in, so it's honestly not a safe, if I were to get bit, honestly, I don't know what I would do. We're about to see how much gold we got so far, and then we might do another time lapse of me just panning and panning. I know it's kind of not an exciting video just because it's just panning all day, but we'll see how much I could get. Especially this spot is so rich. Honestly, if I could sluice, I'd be walking away with 2-3 grams in a day, I think. But I've moved 2 buckets so far of panning, and then I've done a bunch of just tests, probably 10-15 pans of just tests, closer to 10 probably. So let's see. So this is what we got. All right, so this is from all day so far. 2 buckets and a bunch of tests. I am gonna have to get a lot of this black sand out. I'm actually impressed. This is just 2 buckets at that spot, plus about 10 pans. Honestly, I can't believe it. It might be less than I thought. For some reason it looked like a lot more. Yeah, that's still not bad. It's not a bad haul so far. We'll keep panning and see what else we get. So this is our rock that I moved, and there was a snake underneath, and then he kind of slithered up over to this area right here, so we won't mess around with that. But yeah, so we'll kind of stay over here where I first found him. I don't think he's moved back, but he slithered up into these rocks. So yeah, I moved it out of the way and then kind of pushed him away so he wasn't where I was digging. But there's definitely lots of gold here. There's lots of gold everywhere, so let's go ahead and get some more gold. Alright guys, so we got about an hour left. I have been getting some good pieces and whatnot. Hasn't been crazy good, but for panning, honestly, every single pan has gold, no matter whether it's a picker or smaller flour gold. There's usually a couple pieces of flour gold and fly poops, usually about 10-15 fly poops per pan, and then usually once in a while you get a couple of pickers that are smaller or pokers. But yeah, so I'm just digging everywhere. Honestly, it's just littered with gold, this whole area. If you took time, you'd probably get about an ounce or so here. So with how good the pans are, definitely some good gold, and some of them are really nice pieces. So I'm really liking what I'm seeing so far. All right guys, so we're gonna see how much gold I got for the last half. I did probably 10 to 20 pans, I believe. I don't know, less than 20. But let's grab our snuffer. I already cleaned out most of the black sands for the first half. Right. do a pan back. So this is for the last half of the day. Ain't too bad. That is not a bad haul for the second half of the day. I'm sure the gold will shrink when I get home, but it looks like a pretty good amount. So let's snuffer this up. Actually, yeah, we'll snuffer it up. I was gonna mix it with this is the gold from the first half. So yeah. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Huge shout out to any new channel members if we have any this week, and I want to thank you guys for watching. Also, if you guys want to support the channel, consider subscribing, liking, and sharing. Also, you can join membership. We do a giveaway every single month, so if you guys want to join that, I do pater, sluice giveaways, anything sponsors donate, things like that. I give them away once a month, so you guys get a chance to enter those. And then also, if you want to support the channel other ways, there's High Plains Prospecting. If you use this code right here, it helps the channel out a lot. And also, I have a code right here for Dream Mat. So if you go to Dream Mat and use that code, you also help the channel. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Alright guys, we made it back to the house. Here is the gold all dried up. Honestly, for panning all day, that is not a bad haul. So the air's on, so it keeps changing the numbers, but let's see how much we got for the day. 0.87 for just panning. That is not a bad haul. It's a pretty rich spot. Imagine if I was able to sluice all day instead of pan. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Also, a huge shout out to my channel members and Patreon members listed up on the screen. If you guys would like to help support the channel, consider checking out my website mishaboylan.com. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. He's chasing dreams to go worldwide. Misha bears his dreams with pride, shining nuggets in the daylight. With every scoop, this tale's untold. A YouTuber digging up the gold.